You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White Sports fans, let's talk about NBC Sports' Michele Tafoya. Now, you guys probably already know Michele Tafoya will be leaving sideline reporting behind at the conclusion of this season. However, a few weeks back, she actually appeared on the Liberal View, and you guys know how the View is. It is a dumpster fire full of liberals over there, and they were trashing her, okay, because of her take on Colin Kaepernick. Now, I 100% agree with what Michele Tafoya had to say about Colin Kaepernick. Now, something tells me that the higher-ups over at NBC did not like her take on Colin Kaepernick. And what happened, folks? She disappeared from the sideline. I believe like 3 straight games she missed. I believe NBC or ESPN, one of them came out and said that they have bye weeks now. I'm not buying this. She's been on an extended bye week. Something definitely was going on behind the scenes. But however, Michele Tafoya, I believe, is supposed to be back this Sunday. But this will be her final season on the sidelines. However, Michele Tafoya has the backing now of a former NFL player. We've actually talked about this guy on this channel before, and I'm talking about former NFL player Jack Brewer. You can see over here on Fox News, former NFL player Brewer, NBC's Michele Tafoya was right to take a stand against Colin Kaepernick. Tafoya reportedly leaving NBC's Sunday Night NFL coverage at the end of the season. And yeah, she was 100% right, because the people on The View tried to make it seem like Colin Kaepernick wasn't in the league because he was blackballed. When Colin Kaepernick got like 3 opportunities to come back, he didn't want to come back. It's just that simple. But let's read this. Former NFL player Jack Brewer applauded NBC reporter Michele Tafoya after she pushed back on Colin Kaepernick's comments comparing the NFL draft and training camps to slavery. Yeah, now why would Colin Kaepernick actually do that when he so says wants to be back in the NFL? Why would he want to go back to quote unquote slavery? Doesn't make any sense. But this is what Jack Brewer had to say about Michele Tafoya. He said, quote, "I think it was a lot of her choice," said Brewer. "I think that was an awakening for her. I think it uplifted her to take a stand for conservative principles and for her love for this nation." Brewer hypothesized that Tafoya probably, quote, "doesn't feel like she belongs on the sidelines of a league that supports the kind of mess that Kaepernick pushes." Yeah. And I talked about in several videos also that the NFL is really kind of supporting causes that Colin Kaepernick would approve of. They are actually funding organizations that are calling to defund, disband the police. And Colin Kaepernick, what has he done? He's actually showed up on TV wearing shirts depicting cops as pigs. He's also been praising Fidel Castro for several years. We know this, and maybe he's right about Michele Tafoya not wanting to support that kind of mess, that Colin Kaepernick supports. He goes on, he says, quote, "I applaud her for it. I hope she goes on and does more great things and becomes a leader in the movement for righteousness in this nation." He told hosts Carly Shimkus and Todd Pirro. During his Netflix special, Colin in Black and White, Kaepernick said this, quote, "What they don't want you to understand is what's being established is a power dynamic. Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance." And it says here, a line of actors playing NFL prospects, all of them black, then walked by Kaepernick before morphing into slaves at an auction with shackles on while white slave owners bid on them. Now, I'm really wondering, folks, if the black actors actually knew what was going on. Because if I'm an actor, I wouldn't want to be a part of this lie, because that was just a flat out lie. They made it seem like only black athletes were actually going through this process, when in reality, all of the NFL prospects, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, they all go through the same process. One of the most famous photos that has really kind of been made fun of is Tom Brady's 2000 draft combine pick. I mean, he's a white guy, by the way. He's the GOAT also, by the way. Standing up, he can see you. You look at him, you're like, man, he really doesn't look that athletic. And it's been mocked for almost 2 decades. He's white, went through the same process. Brewer had previously called Kaepernick's documentary sick and disgusting, and asserted that the former quarterback had an evil anti-American spirit. He's 100% on that. On November 3rd, Tafoya and the co-host of The View had a debate about Kaepernick around the time that Netflix released his special. Quote, "No one pressures them," Tafoya said. "They're not forced to go into the NFL." And if you guys remember what Joy Behar said, she said that these athletes pretty much don't really want to go in the NFL. It's just that they can't get jobs. Now, Joy Behar, let's be real, that sounds like a racist statement to me. She's saying that these black athletes are only going into the NFL because they can't get jobs. This is ridiculous, completely ridiculous. And those ladies on The View, man, they really don't know anything about sports. Everything that they were saying was completely and utterly ridiculous. But it says here later, Tafoya added, quote, "I thought comparing it to the slave trade was a little rough. These guys enter willingly. They are the most well cared for people. Yes, they play a hard sport, and every one of them, black, white, Latino, whoever's playing the sport, will tell you how much they love it, and they're willing to do it, and they make a damn good living." Yes, these guys love this sport so much, they're willing to put their health at risk. Think about this. This is how much they love the game. I mean, there's a possibility, they can actually end up with CTE. They can actually struggle to walk later in life. But these guys love the game so much, and it sets them up for life. If they take care of their finances, they're willing to make that sacrifice. And you know what? I wish NFL players would actually come out and go on The View and say, wait a minute, we heard what you said about us only being in the NFL because we can't get other jobs. That is not the case. Many of these NFL players made the decision to become full-time NFL players when they're like 10 years old. Several weeks later, it was revealed that Tafoya would no longer be the sideline reporter for NBC's Sunday Night Football after this season. The upcoming Super Bowl is expected to be her final appearance. So there you have it, guys. What do you guys think of Jack Brewer backing Michele Tafoya when it comes to what she was saying about Colin Kaepernick? Spot on. No doubt about it. 100% agree with what he had to say. 100% agree with what Michele Tafoya had to say. Colin Kaepernick never wants to be in the league anymore. He doesn't. He's making so much more money being a professional victim. And you know what? White liberals, they're just bowing down at the altar of Colin Kaepernick. They don't think he's doing anything wrong. They don't believe he's lying. And obviously, like I said before, these ladies on The View clearly do not watch the NFL. Maybe they get all their information from CNN. They don't know the facts. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.